Hey, welcome back to AC Auto Carts. It is evidently underglow season here in the neighborhood because I've got a third in the garage today to get an underglow treatment. We met Chris a few videos back, the blue EZGO TXT. This is his father's EZGO TXT. He also lives here in the neighborhood. He picked up these LED strip underglow lights. So it's the first one of this kind that I'll be doing. We'll take you for a ride through that. It already came with a voltage reducer. There is a voltage reducer in this cart. So we're going to look at some of the wiring and determine the best way to wire it up and the best way to do these strip lights instead of the individual longer strips. So that's the plan. Let's get started. Again, not sure what year this puppy is. 36 volt. I did just take it around the block. It scoots really good, actually. Really no resistance when you let off the throttle, which is what I like in electric carts. Um, Accessories, not a whole ton. I mean, forward reverse is up here with your battery meter, and then the off and on, basically just the on gives us this one headlight that's on this puppy. Little guy down there. This has a voltage reducer in it. I might work on this a little bit. I mean, we've got household ties in there. Um, I Yeah, I think I'm going to clean that up a little bit. So we'll figure something out there. This particular kit. So again, it's a single strip. I'll put the link on it to Amazon if you're interested in this one. You can cut these at this point here, kind of like if you're hanging strips in your kids' room. Like this one in particular is very similar to the ones I've got in one of my daughter's rooms. We've got two pieces of two-sided tape, which I assume is for the voltage reducer that they do send with it. So I could go direct to the battery with it. Here's to get the app going. It does have an app, your controller. These are the zip ties that came with it. It is fused. So that is what the kit includes. So I'm going to make a plan here and we'll be back with you. Before I get going, again, this is the voltage reducer is just hanging. I'm going to take the cover off, just make sure that there's nothing behind here. I'm going to mount his voltage reducer here. This wiring is just kind of wrapped around the negative cable, so we'll kind of tidy that up a little bit and then decide what I'm going to do with the wiring for the Underglow kit, which I think I'm going to put on a little switch. Here we are. A couple little self-tappers, we have that mounted. Rewired, I put a new connection here, I cleaned all the connections here. I have the negative, there was a smaller negative, I'm not exactly, that's coming out of this wire harness, but splice those two together, put that in there. Left a fuse for the reducer, rewired that with the headlight kit, because the headlight kit has its own fuse in here somewhere. Came up, double-sided tape the controller. Chris got one of these little switches. So negative, both of them have to go to that. This is power in, and then this is power to the piece that you're using. So that's here. I drilled a little hole, put that there. So that works. That'll power it on and off, even though you can use the app and you can use the remote. I decided to do that on this one. So didn't have to actually drill a hole in the body. And then with these things, like there really isn't any room here, and I don't feel like unriveting all of this to put the switch in up here. So I just went with this guy. I did put the strip in real quick to this. It does work, so it does turn on and off, so we're good there. So this strip, the light strip itself, is 16 feet. I wrapped it around just to kind of see what I was working with. And then the power cord is another 6.5. So that is what we're working with. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to start this in the rear, plug this in, run this to the rear, like rear bumper, and I'm going to go around. Because I think, I like having the light in the front, bouncing off the front tires. And we'll bring it around as far as I can. We'll go up over the wheels if we can. And if we end here, I'll keep going around the back, right? But I think what I'm going to do is I'll start somewhere in here and go around. I'm going to do a test fit, I think, first. All right, so now I'm just going to get under here. I guess I'm going to try and clean my, the trail that we're going to make for these lights. I'll try and hide them as best I can. I'm thinking we'll come down here. No, you're not seeing where I'm pointing, right here. So we'll clean that. I'll pop this tire off. Take that other tire off. My impact is 300 pounds reverse, and there is a nut over there that's cross-threaded. So we're leaving that one on for now. I'm not going to mess with that. And I think I might just pop that off, check the brakes for him while it's here and up in the air and with the wheels off. So I'll let you know on that. But in the meantime, I'm going to get running this. So this was fun. So if you're going to try this project, take a look under here before you start. Maybe pressure wash it off. That's what I should have done. Anyway, so because this is just that tape, I'm fairly confident that they're going to stick. It was sticking really well. I'm going to run a couple of zip ties around it just in case. Otherwise, though, I don't have any on it now, and it's it is sticking really well. So came up through here, a little passageway, the same as I did on Chris's TXT. And then the cool part is, I really didn't expect this, truthfully. This is where we end in here. So this wheel will be a little bit brighter, but basically started it right there. So I'm going to get cleaned up here, get some wheels back on this. We will zip tie all this in, get everything cleaned up, and check some functionality in a little bit. Boop. All right, I just had the drum off. Nothing fancy in there. They're fine. They're probably halfway done. So this tire, obviously, she spent a little time on the front end, so I can't put it on the front end. But what we had was I'm missing, it's got two center caps left, right? So I just put this guy on the front. So we'll have two of these on the front. And what I'm going to do is, these are actually left over from Chris's, the blue TXT that we just threw a set of wheels on. It's in that video that says new cart, new accessories. So these are left over from his. They were on the back. So it'll kind of be like a center cap, right? So anyway, at least we'll be evening that out. Also, you wonder, right? So check out the stud length on this side. Just, you wonder what happens to these things, and then who fixes on them, because then they only do one side. All right, I gotta thin the herd here and get rid of a couple carts. It's getting to be ridiculous. Anyway, all right, so I'm all cleaned up. Floor is cleaned back up. We've got the wheels on, so that looks pretty good. Little center cap there, so now that's at least even. It's the same both sides. And I guess let's check some functionality here. All right, so I've got our little remote out. There you go. Focus, focus. Little tab here, pull little tab out. So if I go red, stays solid. Green, it'll stay solid. Brightness is perfect. It's exactly what you expect. It's super similar to what we did on Chris's. Different functions: flash, strobe, fade, smooth, Looks like, let me see here. What's this one? This is the little key on the top of it. And then I think if you hit a solid color, it goes back to solid. Yep. White. So I don't have all the lights off completely. Obviously, it's still, I just shut the door, turn the lights off, but I think we're getting the point. Brightness is fine. It was easy to install overall. Again, I think the thing that frustrated me the most was just dealing with the caked on mud. So I should have pressure washed it first. When this was in the air, you could see that the bushings were gone. It's really basically the bolt in there. So this is going to need a spring kit, not the spring itself, but the bushing. And then the differential is leaking a little bit, actually a lot bit. I cleaned the floor, but there was actually a small trail of fluid. So we're going to have to look at that and get that seal done soon. Is that Larson that just did that? Oh my God, Larson. Jeez. All right, so that's going to do it for today's video. I apologize for doing 3 videos in a row that have to do with Underglow kits, but it's a very popular thing right now in the neighborhood, and it was 3 different styles, right? We've got a complete 1-piece strip. We had the 12-piece section that I put in Dave's cart that's sitting outside, and then we have Chris's had those 4 Roy Cow pieces that were stripped. You know, 1 here, 2 on each frame rail, and then 1 on the back. So this is a little bit different. This one does give a very similar effect, with the exception of you can see it here in the front, and you can see it on that rear wheel. So if you prefer to not be able to see any of the lights poking out from underneath the chassis, definitely want to go with those individual pieces. So that's going to be it for now. This card will probably be back for a couple of the things that we saw here in the video. The differential, those bushings. The brakes were okay. I might just adjust the pedal a little bit because it does go down. It doesn't have a lot of power, but there's plenty of pad. So anyway, that's it for today. If you stuck with us, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. We're trying to do this as a DIY thing for everybody at home. And we will catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.